Three inherent issues with League of Legends ranked solo queue. 1. The context of time and promotion are two concepts that cause issue when it comes to League of Legends. League of Legends is a very all-time consuming game if you let it in terms of rank. The issue is that playing ranked is like a matter of risk and challenge. When people play ranked, they play it to practice. The problem is that playing a ranked match all the time forces people into the mindset to play seriously but enjoy the game as a challenge is contradictory to the idea of fun. There is this idea when it comes to an esport that I don't play competitive games because I'm no good at it. This is very much true in the sense of the core nature of League, but the idea of game knowledge to stay competitive is vast for new players. The problem and inherent risk of League is that it's an always evolving and ever improving, but the idea of ranked is a matter of goal-oriented improvement. The problem is that ranked solo queue does not reflect your true skill if you do not put the time in. Long story short, you are going to need to put the time. The thing is with League is it's the kind of game where reaching top performance of skill has a window when you're prime best to be good at the game. League of Legends climbing is something of a career stat in esports for spectators. Climbing has a matter of aspects and measure that are subtle that only a self-aware player would know. The problem is that there's just not enough time to enjoy a game compared to other games that are out there in the market. The thing is that League ranked is a system of consistency, practice, patience, tenacity. These are attributes that are cultivated in people of careers, not players. When you think of the ever-present fact that there are meant to be played for the challenge, the problem is that the challenge does not equal fun. Getting the next ranked is a mechanic that holds too much stigma of the overall skill rather than something to look and compare superficially. People have limited time, and playing ranked to promote is a way to try if a player wishes to get up in rank. There are just too many factors that sum up a skill of a player's that promotion and rank does not necessarily reflect. Critically, there's nothing wrong with solo queue, but as a game mechanic, it makes more of a sport than a game. 2. The game is really not meant to be played by yourself. League of Legends is a team-based MOBA where the key points that dictate the trajectory of the game is determined by the teammates. The problem with League is that although they're very accessible, the game has the issue of not truly experienced when playing solo queue. The thing about the game is the idea of control. The problem is that control is only within the context and confines as an individual teammate. The way the game is meant to be explored is by adding randoms at the end of game matches who have skill, communicate with and develop rapport and hope to play more games with them. It's interesting because as more time goes by, League there is more improvements to connectivity of the game. The idea is that all coordination overall that sets a standard of carrying the game and winning the game as a whole. Other games and genres like StarCraft 2, Street Fighter, or For Honor have this idea of control over the outcome of the game. League used to be a game where you could carry and push the outcome yourself, but unfortunately the game is meant to be played as a team and roles. Although the idea of playing as a team is the way for the game to be experienced, it's not the idea of what is practical. The game does not have the true inbuilt mechanics to communicate what truly is at play in League. I'm not saying that League needs a voice chat in public, but the context of League in the matter of skill and playing by yourself is not a reflection of how the true mechanics is meant to be experienced. 3. The grind to get good at a game as a player. League is a pretty unforgiving game when it comes to new players. When I used to play League of Legends, there used to be the idea that you could farm up IP to eventually buy a character that you could feel was good. The problem is not that mechanic is gone. The game as a whole really forces very niche characters and playstyles in a long overall play career of a person. This probably does not work well in the long run. What is meant by this? If you are new to League and you have this idea that you want to experience a game, you are going to be in for a ride if you do not plan to spend money. The problem is that there are certain tiers of characters in League when playing them that is either easy or hard. Within this certain mindset, there are amount of roles in League that pertain to who can play where. Within that, there are synergies where certain characters counter different champs and different champs have different playstyles. There's unfortunately too much game knowledge required to understand what is really at play in the game. The idea that you can play League now by yourself is crazy unless you see someone else play and feel that the game looks interesting. League's nature to understand the fundamental, understand the team play, understand proper communication is a team sports of strategy. Fundamentally though, the game changes completely depending on what you play, and the barrier to entry to play cheap characters has an issue of play time investment versus the understanding of what works. Again, the game requires one to put in more time potentially, really getting nowhere in terms of wins to really understand what's at play when the play set character. The draw to League's complexity is also what causes people to steer clear of the sheer amount of monumental game knowledge, character grind, and time to practice each character. Simply put, the time for one game for a casual player has a large drop of time hours for the game to be enjoyed. If a new player knew how much time would be required to fundamentally be skilled is just something of a monumental challenge. Those are just some thoughts on playing the game. They don't necessarily mean they were right. Yeah. In a way.